Welcome back, y'all. I'm Alina, and today's budget with me is my husband's paycheck from June 9th, and it's carrying us through June 15th. This paycheck was from my husband's teacher job, and that was $1,466.55. We're rolling over $182. That's our $10 buffer, $5 from a service fee. The rest of this rollover was from the electric bill, which we will talk about in a minute. Our electric company was playing games this week, and I don't have time for it. Like, I literally don't have time. But I'll explain later. So this week was also a payout for me. My little side income was $84.27. So taking all this, our total income for this week was $1,732.82. Now let's go through these expenses. Tithe at $156, groceries at $175, gas at $80. So our family, we have two vehicles. My husband is driving a 2005 van to work, so he got 50 of this. I'm driving a 2011 SUV for the kids, and we got 30 of this. So I had to actually correct my 7-year-old when she was like, "Where's our car?" And like, we were in the parking lot walking out of the store, and I had to say, it's mommy and daddy's car. We just let y'all use it. Like, you can get your own car when you grow up. So she didn't really say anything after that, or maybe she was just like, oh, or something. But I think it's important for kids to know that everything is just not theirs. But maybe she's a little too young for me to explain that. But anyway, next up is electric. So here we go. It was $326.25. Now, this was both May and June's bill. So our electric is on, or it was on auto pay, where it automatically is taken out of our bank account. So I messed up, I admit, last month, and I didn't put the money in there. We had the money, I just didn't switch it over to the account that we use for the electric bill. So they go and take the money out when it's due, and it wasn't there. It's my fault. Our electric company, when that happens, they just add it to the next bill. They did that, but then I got a letter saying, well, this happened twice in the last 12 months, and our policy is basically, no more auto pay for you. Like, you can't get it together, and we don't want to try to do this anymore with you. And I get it. Okay, that's fine. I'm at fault. Okay. So June comes around, and I pay manually with our debit card. I go on the website, I pay the extra $2.25 in order to pay this way. And, I'm doing that because that's what the letter said. But then, y'all, you can guess what happened. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. Like, I paid first thing in the morning on Friday when it was due, around 6 o'clock, before my kids get up. I try to, get stuff out the way. I got my confirmation email, and I'm going on about my day. Because in my eyes, I'm done. I paid it. I did what I was supposed to do. But later that day, I get an email saying our auto pay was accepted. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm paying twice. So I call, and y'all already know what that's like. Like, I said, I really didn't have time for it. Like, my kids want to go outside to play. I had to go to the bank, get the cash. I have to get groceries. And so the lady, talking with her, she's like, basically, there's nothing they can do except wait. And they can't try to cancel it and all that. They can't do that. They just, wait for it to come out. On top of that, she doesn't know when the money would come out. And she can't reimburse me. Like, they can't reverse it until after the fact, which is halfway fine. I would have been sort of okay with that. Okay, fine. What's done is done. But then I ask, okay, can you just put us back on auto pay? And she's like, no, we can't. And I'm like, and this is what gets me. Like, a bunch of stuff gets me. But this is it. This is what gets me. You say the system can't because my account is flagged and the system won't work and blah, blah, blah. It literally worked. you said the auto pay doesn't work, but it is working because it just did the auto pay, even though my account, like, what are we saying? And I hate to be that person, but I might just ask to talk with the manager. Like I said, this was Friday, so maybe come Monday, you know, to try to get back on auto pay. Like, the money's not in there. I'm not too concerned about them double charging me. I'm concerned about getting back on auto pay and not having to pay this $2.25. And shout out to Live Without Loans. It sounds like they had a similar issue, and it's unbelievable, like how these companies will basically run you over and just expect you to take it. And you know, the biggest thing, or I keep saying the biggest thing, but I would have appreciated, you know, at least an apology. Like, they didn't even apologize. Like, not one, you know, I'm sorry, ma'am, that was our mistake. You know, just acknowledge that y'all messed up. Like, you messed up. I did too, but y'all did too. And it's like, maybe I'm petty, but I just would have appreciated an apology. But moving on, let me hurry up. After that, we have web hosting coming out for $29.99. Apple for $1.99. We have hosting again. This is like a yearly plan, so we only pay this once a year. It's associated with like another website. Like, we have these little websites that we're trying to get off the ground. So we're going to set aside $129.88 for that. That is not all that's due, but next paycheck we can add more to it and pay it. July rent, we are setting aside $688.71. This is a little less than half. Yeah, it's not quite getting us to halfway, but we have to put away something like every paycheck so that we have enough to pay when, you know, the beginning of July rolls around. If you're new, we're low income, and basically one paycheck doesn't cover our rent. And we live in a 2-bedroom apartment in the Nashville area. Service fee, $5. So I had this budgeted last week too. It didn't come out, but I'm assuming it will eventually. I'm like, it's kind of confusing now because of how our bank is set up. Like, it only charges this service fee when the account is below a certain amount, or it's not getting regular direct deposits. So since I quit that part-time job, you know, I was getting regular, you know, deposits, but since I quit that, I figure this fee is going to start up again. But the due dates just may be off now, but still, I don't want them to catch me slipping, you know, so I'm just going to keep this $5 in here, so whenever they're ready to take it out, it's there. Children need new sandals, and we're setting aside $20 for that. They put on last year's sandals and the little toes were hanging out at the end, so they need some new ones. I know this $20 probably isn't enough for 2 kids to buy them brand new, but I'm going to be looking like on Facebook Marketplace and see if I can find some. If not, I'll just save this $20 and add more money to it next week and, you know, buy some off the shelf. Reselling, I'm putting $10 towards that. Ooh, how I'm doing reselling right now is I'm going to the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. Then we have $10 for our buffers. You add up all these expenses, total expenses comes to $1,632.82. Subtract that from our income, and that leaves exactly $100. So this was not coincidence. I had to adjust our July rent to make it that way. I really wanted all of the reselling money, like everything I made here outside of, you know, tithing and all that stuff. I wanted all that to go towards debt, and I figured, you know, why not making it even 100? So $100 to debt. Meh. It's a lot lower than usual, than what we've been doing lately, I guess I'll say. But we'll see if we can get our income up soon, and we're just going to keep at it. And I hope the same for you, wherever you are on your debt-free journey. Keep at it.